Stop scrolling, because something just happened that's bigger than basketball, bigger than sports, and maybe even bigger than Nike itself. Caitlin Clark, the rookie who has already turned the WNBA into must-watch TV, just unleashed her official Nike signature logo. And within minutes, it wasn't just fans buzzing, it was investors, sneakerheads, and media executives all scrambling to understand what just hit them. This wasn't just a logo reveal, it was a full-blown market shockwave. Think about it. Logos aren't supposed to move stock prices. They aren't supposed to crash websites. They aren't supposed to make people camp outside sporting goods stores like it's the release of a new iPhone. But Caitlin Clark isn't a normal athlete. She's the rare cultural force who bends entire industries around her. And now, Nike has finally gone all in, betting that her name, her brand, and her story can reshape the economics of women's sports forever. It began quietly, almost deceptively. Nike dropped a Caitlin Clark Player Edition of the Kobe 5 Protro in Indiana Fever colors. Price tag, $190. Release time, 10 a.m. By 10:15, gone. Completely wiped out. Fans refreshing their screens were already being sent to the resale market, where pairs instantly jumped to nearly $400, some hitting $800 within hours. And if that wasn't proof enough of Clark's pull, here's the kicker. People weren't even mad at Nike. They were mad at themselves for not moving fast enough. Then came the moment everyone was waiting for, the logo itself. Two bold, interlocking C's. Minimalist, sleek, almost luxury in its execution. But hidden inside, a subtle third C representing the layers of her journey. The grind, the obsession with perfection, the foundation she built from the ground up. It wasn't just a design, it was storytelling, etched into a symbol. Some compared it to Gucci, others swore it looked like Chanel. A few even joked it resembled a vintage airline logo from the 1950s. But whether you loved it, questioned it, or squinted at it, one thing was undeniable. You couldn't ignore it. Fans tried to grab logo-branded t-shirts the second they dropped, only to be met with sold-out signs and pre-order wait lists. On social media, people bragged about scoring merch like they'd won a lottery ticket. Entire rosters were showing up in free logo gear, with Caitlin gifting her teammates bundles of the new drop. Suddenly, what was once a rumor about Nike fumbling the bag had flipped into proof that Nike had been patiently plotting a blockbuster. The frenzy was real, and it was only just beginning. For months, critics slammed Nike. They fumbled the bag, people said. How do you lock down the most marketable athlete in women's sports and not launch something right away? The whispers turned into full-blown think pieces. Maybe Nike didn't know what to do with Caitlin Clark. Maybe the brand had miscalculated. But the truth? Nike wasn't fumbling at all. They were playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. Nike's strategy wasn't about chasing headlines. It was about building a dynasty. Instead of rushing a product to shelves just to cash in on the hype, they deliberately chose patience. They invested 2 years into creating a full product line that wouldn't just capture attention in the moment, but dominate for the next decade. The logo was only the opening act. The main event, Nike revealed, would be Clark's official signature shoe, set for release in 2026. By spacing out the rollouts, Nike ensured every announcement would feel seismic. The Kobe 5 B-drop? Gone in minutes. The logo reveal? A cultural moment. The next step, Clark's own sneaker, would be positioned not as just another shoe, but as a global event. Nike wanted anticipation. They wanted scarcity. They wanted Clark's brand to feel less like traditional sportswear and more like a luxury label. And based on the reaction to her logo, their gamble is paying off in ways even the boldest analysts didn't predict. The second Clark's logo hit the internet, it wasn't just fans and sneaker blogs buzzing. It was Wall Street. Nike's stock, already climbing after a strong quarterly report, suddenly surged another 3% in the days following the logo reveal. That's billions of dollars in market value triggered by a single announcement tied to a rookie basketball player. Investors quickly realized what fans already knew. Caitlin Clark isn't just an athlete. She's a money printing machine. Industry experts started running the numbers, and the projections were staggering. Nick DiPaolo, one of the most respected voices in the sneaker world, estimated that Clark's eventual signature shoe could generate $100 million in its first year alone. Some analysts pushed that number even higher, with whispers of $150 million. To put that in perspective, that would put Clark's sneaker line in the same conversation as some of the most successful basketball franchises in history, not just in the WNBA, but in the entire sport. And here's the wildest part. This explosion wasn't fueled by hype alone. It was rooted in real demand. The resale market confirmed it. Jerseys were selling out. Shoes were doubling in price. T-shirts were gone before lunch. Clark had crossed the line from promising athlete to full-blown cultural phenomenon. Nike wasn't just selling products anymore. They were selling Caitlin Clark herself. And the world was buying at any price. If you thought this was just about sneakers, think again. Caitlin Clark has become the single most important economic driver in women's basketball, and the numbers prove it. In 2024 alone, analysts estimated she was responsible for nearly a quarter of all WNBA economic activity. That means ticket sales, merch, TV ratings, sponsorships, everything spiked the second her name entered the league. Look at her jersey sales. During her rookie year, Clark's Indiana Fever jersey wasn't just the top seller in the WNBA, it was the second best-selling basketball jersey in all of professional basketball, only trailing Stephen Curry. Think about that. A rookie in the WNBA outselling legends like LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Kevin Durant. Her jersey sales skyrocketed by more than 1,100% in a single season, a number so absurd it almost looks like a typo. And it's not just merchandise. Clark's impact on television has been nothing short of jaw-dropping. Games featuring her averaged more than 1 million viewers, triple the viewership of non-Clark games. When she missed time with an injury, ratings plummeted by as much as 40%. Broadcasters learned the hard way. Caitlin Clark isn't just part of the story, she is the story. Without her, casual fans tune out. With her, every game feels like a national event. That kind of influence is something no marketing campaign can manufacture. It's organic, it's fan-driven, and it's the reason Nike was willing to commit $28 million over 8 years to secure her signature. To Nike, that deal already looks like the bargain of the century. Clark's arrival didn't just change her own bottom line, it flipped the entire WNBA economy upside down. According to Fanatics, WNBA merchandise sales jumped by over 500% in 2024 compared to the year before, and the surge wasn't limited to Clark alone. Once her popularity brought new fans into the ecosystem, other stars started benefiting too. A rising tide lifts all boats, and Clark is the tidal wave powering the league. Dick's Sporting Goods reported a 233% increase in WNBA-related sales. Attendance at Fever games shattered records, forcing arenas to open upper decks just to fit demand. Road games became spectacles, with sellout crowds showing up not to see their home team, but to catch a glimpse of Clark pulling up from the logo. And everywhere she went, local businesses, media outlets, and sponsors scrambled to capitalize on the attention. It's the Clark effect in its purest form. Before she even laced up a signature sneaker, Clark had already turned women's basketball into one of the fastest-growing sports properties on the planet. And Nike, sitting at the center of that storm, is cashing in on every ripple. But here's the real twist. Clark's rise isn't just boosting the league financially, it's changing the perception of women's basketball entirely. Suddenly, WNBA merch isn't just something fans buy out of loyalty. It's trendy, it's cultural, it's becoming a status symbol. And at the center of that shift is a rookie with a logo that's already redefining the rules of the game. When Nike unveiled Caitlin Clark's logo, the reactions were telling. Some fans compared it to Chanel. Others swore it gave off Gucci vibes. A few even joked it looked like a vintage airline emblem from the 1950s. But here's the point. People weren't just looking at it as a sports logo. They were looking at it as fashion. That's the magic of Clark's brand. She's not just part of the sneaker conversation. She's crossing over into lifestyle and luxury culture. Think about the frenzy. Fans lined up outside Dick's Sporting Goods like it was Black Friday. Resale sites filled with her gear at double the retail price. Social media lit up with people bragging about securing CC merch like they just bought the hottest drop of the season. Nike knows exactly what they're doing. By designing Clark's logo to feel clean, sharp, and instantly recognizable, they're positioning it less like a sports mark and more like a luxury insignia. The interlocking C's, they echo high-end labels. The hidden third C, it's storytelling baked into design. Clark's gear isn't being treated as basketball merch. It's becoming a status symbol. And here's the kicker. It's not just fans buying into the hype. Entire teams are showing up in her logo. Celebrities are rocking her gear courtside. Influencers are unboxing her merch like it's designer handbags. Clark has achieved what few athletes ever do. She's blurred the line between sport and culture. Suddenly, the WNBA isn't just in the sports section. It's in the fashion blogs, the business pages, and the luxury lifestyle feeds. But if you really want to understand how massive this moment is, you have to zoom out. Clark's logo drop didn't just boost Nike's stock or set resale markets on fire. It landed right in the middle of a media revolution. The WNBA recently secured an 11-year, $2.2 billion media rights deal, tripling the league's revenues and setting the stage for unprecedented growth. And guess who's at the center of every broadcaster's pitch deck? Caitlin Clark. Networks like ESPN, NBC, CBS, and ABC are in bidding wars for Clark-driven content. Why? Because the numbers are impossible to ignore. A standard WNBA game without her averages around 114,000 viewers. A game with her, over 1 million. That's not just a bump, that's a tenfold difference that transforms ordinary broadcasts into national events. Clark has become the league's gravitational force, pulling in casual fans, hardcore supporters, and even people who never cared about basketball before. This is why Nike's investment looks so genius. They didn't just sign an athlete, they aligned themselves with the single biggest ratings magnet in women's sports. Every time she steps on the court, millions of eyes follow. Every logo drop, every sneaker tease, every piece of merch instantly multiplies in value because of the media spotlight she commands. In other words, Clark's logo isn't just a design, it's a symbol of timing, momentum, and opportunity. And for Nike, it's proof they've secured not just a superstar, but the heartbeat of an entire sport. Here's the truth. Caitlin Clark isn't just changing the game, she's rewriting the entire playbook for women's sports. Her Nike deal, valued at $28 million over 8 years, was supposed to be a gamble. Now, it looks like the smartest investment in the company's recent history. Retail experts have said it plainly. Nike won't make that $28 million back through just sneaker sales. But that was never the point. This partnership was about aligning their brand with the most powerful cultural force in women's basketball. And already, Clark is paying back that bet 100-fold. Her upcoming 2026 signature shoe isn't just a product, it's shaping up to be a global event. Analysts predict revenues could soar past $150 million in the first year. If those numbers hold, Clark's line would immediately rank among the top 5 basketball franchises in existence. To put it bluntly, this would make her one of the most successful signature athletes of all time, men included. And it's not just about dollars. This partnership carries weight. It's Nike declaring, once and for all, that women athletes deserve the same star treatment as their male counterparts. Premium marketing, signature gear, luxury-level branding. Clark's logo isn't just a stamp on t-shirts, it's a statement. It tells the world that women's basketball is no longer an afterthought. It's here, it's profitable, and it's powerful enough to move culture, commerce, and Wall Street. The Caitlin Clark logo reveal wasn't just a launch, it was a signal that Nike finally understands the scale of what they have on their hands. This isn't about jerseys or sneakers. It's about a once-in-a-generation athlete pulling an entire league into a new era. Her logo was the spark. Her signature shoe will be the explosion. And the long-term partnership between Clark and Nike, that's the revolution. One that's already reshaping how women's sports are marketed, consumed, and valued. Critics can roll their eyes. Skeptics can argue she's overhyped, but the numbers, the stock prices, the sellouts, and the packed arenas tell a louder story. Caitlin Clark isn't just the future of the WNBA. She's the blueprint for how women's sports become mainstream, profitable, and culturally undeniable. The Caitlin Clark era has officially begun, and if the frenzy around her logo is any indication, we're not just watching history unfold, we're watching the foundation of an empire being built in real time.